And we're back. Welcome back, fellow gamers. Welcome back, fellow rumblers. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to my live stream. And yes, Avowed is for the modern audience. If you are wondering whether the game Avowed is for you or it's for somebody else, if you are part of the modern audience, then the game Avowed is definitely for you. If not, if you are not part of the modern audience and you're part of the general gaming audience, then it's absolutely not for you. This was specifically stated by the tag in Avowed Steam Store. If you go to Steam and you open the Steam Store for Avowed, you'll see that it's not for the general gaming audience. It is specifically for a certain type of audience. Now that you know, that will hopefully prevent people from buying the game and complaining afterwards that it's filled with modern audience bullshit. It's good that they are revealing or informing the public, the gamers out there, that it was made for a specific audience and it's for the modern audience. Again, it's a very good idea for the developer or for those who created the game Avowed to let the general audience know that it wasn't made for them. It will reduce the backlash. Of course, if you already know that it's not for you and you still bought it, I guess you can't complain because you were properly informed. Also, I'm going to repeat this. There is nothing wrong in making games for the modern audience. There is absolutely nothing wrong. But there is also nothing wrong for us, the general gaming audience, to not buy the game. It goes both ways. They can do whatever they want, they can make any games they want, and they can pander their games to any group of people they want. But guess what? They should also understand that we are free to buy or not buy the game they made, which means they can't blame us if no one buys or play the game. The good, what do you call this? I wouldn't call it a good news. Maybe it's a good thing. It's a good thing for Avowed that it's part of Microsoft because the game will also launch in Game Pass, which means if you have a Game Pass account, you'll get the game for free. All you have to do is once the game is released, all you have to do is download it and play it. You don't even have to buy it because Microsoft already paid for it. This could mean that Avowed can avoid the disaster that befallen Dragon Age Veilguard, the Veilguard. They don't need to make or they don't need to sell millions of copies. Again, if the game is in Game Pass, they're not selling the game. They're not, because it has already been paid for by Microsoft. And if you have Game Pass, all you have to do is download it and play it. Unlike with the Veilguard, where they the success of the game relies on the number of copies sold. That is not gonna be a problem with Avowed. Once it's released in Game Pass, there is already a built-in number of gamers waiting to download it. Now the question is, will they download it or not? But most probably they will download it because it's free for them. They already paid for it through monthly subscriptions. Of course, if you're totally not in agreement with what modern AAA gaming studios are doing, you could always cancel your subscriptions. But I doubt many people will do that. In fact, if my PC can handle all these modern games, I might have tried Game Pass, because the last time I looked, I haven't checked recently, but it was like many months ago, or maybe it could be a year ago. When I checked, the price for Game Pass in my region is only $1 a month. Imagine that. I'll be able to play all the games for only $1 a month. Insane, right? Again, that was like maybe a year ago. I have no idea if they have if the price has increased or not, and I have no interest in checking. The reason why I checked back then was because of Starfield. But the problem is, even though it's only $1 a month back then or a year ago, my PC was not, I guess you can say, powerful enough to run Starfield. My PC can't run any of these modern day AAA games. The system requirements are quite high, and my PC is not that powerful. My video card is still a GTX 1050. It's not even the TI version, which is 4 GB. It's the lower version, or the basic version, if you can call the other one like that. It's the 2 GB GTX 1050. And if you look at YouTube's front page, at least this is my front page right now. A few hours ago, YouTube is displaying 4 thumbnails per row. That was a few hours ago. This is recent, maybe around an hour ago. And YouTube is displaying 3 thumbnails in one row. It looks like YouTube is still experimenting with how they display thumbnails to users. I like the four in a row because it shows more videos. But I also like the three in a row because the thumbnails are larger, which means I can easily read what's written on the graphics. I don't like the two in a row because it shows me less videos, and I'm not a fan of the one in a row. Seriously, why would they even do that? And can you still call it a thumbnail if it's the entire screen?
Through the fields, I find what used to be Herschel. Goodbye.
Anyway, guys, be right back. There was music playing, and I don't know where it was coming from. Anyway, be right back. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I'm back. Let's get started. Let's see what's happening or what's trending or what's the latest in our favorite space in the internet, and that is the gaming space. Let's see here. Copium Overlord. Avowed fanboy spends 24 hours coping. What? I'm already laughing because I already found it funny. 24 hours coping. How do you even do that? Here we have I'm a sociopath. So it's about Johnny Somali, the most hated IRL streamer. We're dry, baby. Why are they dry? Maybe they need a little bit of water or liquid if they're dry. Let's see here. The UK is ridiculous. Yes, it is. I agree with that. Soon to be fired about art director admits to racial discrimination. Ooh, okay, this is interesting. This was like 2 days ago. Ah, wait, it's just Asmongold. This is so embarrassing. American reacts to posts that prove Americans think that only they. Okay, so where are all the gaming related things? Let me click on gaming instead. Hopefully the gaming tab will show me gaming related things. How is Snow White gaming? Well, I guess Disney is gaming the movie industry by putting out garbage. Okay, Pirate Software getting trolled by TTS. Not interested in Pirate Software. They hate white gamers. Yes, they do. Dungeons and Dragons 2024. But this is old news. That was 10 days ago. How about this? Star Citizen. 2 weeks ago, $700 million later, and it's still a mess. I think I've seen this already. Everybody was waiting for this. This is the secret level show. This is supposed to be tied in or tied with Concord, but everyone knows that Concord died a miserable death. New studio dead already got hired in May. Abounding in the comic. I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to refresh the page. Or maybe look at this one. It's looking good, but Avowed direct again 2 hours ago. Side scrollers. Let's see here. Let me take a look at this. This Dragon Age of Veilguard situation is crazy.
This is so video games in 2024.
Oh no. That means it's going to be a Sweet Baby. It's going to be, or it could be Concord. It could be Veilguard, or it
Ding,
could
ding,
be.
ding.
Oh, I got it in
There we
3. Huzzah!
It could be Avowed.
Now, this doesn't have to do with the game itself, but it does have to do with the community surrounding the game. As thanks to our friends over at
What community? We all know there is no community. If there was a community,
Facebook group,
it will reflect on the number of people who played the game. But
you will not find joy at all in our Facebook group.
I guess there are still
13,000 member strong Facebook group, Dragon Age Veilguard Facebook.
13,000. Wow.
Reacting to
Guess what? If they were just playing every day,
groups rules, it states
at least
banned.
they'll have an effect on the daily concurrent number of players. But even they couldn't bear playing this game for very long.
Reacting because you're making fun of them and or
Whoa, this is insane. Look at that. You cannot laugh at anything Veilguard because you'll be banned.
It explains make sure that everyone feels safe. There's
I
the
don't-
issue right there.
I don't feel safe with them calling me a bigot. For
What safe means? How is it not safe? Everyone is at their home sitting in front of a computer. How is that not safe? That is the most safest place
Bunch of Dragon Age Veilguard.
that you can be in your own home, in front of your computer.
And obviously I can't pull this up.
My goodness.
There are 12.9k members.
This is it.
You know what's not safe?
And
When we were younger,
it does have
my classmates and I, every
laugh react space.
every end of school day, we would wander around the wilderness.
But
We would go swimming in the river. We would climb hills.
Ezra Wren.
We would
No.
Ezra
Fire
Wren.
away.
follow the railroad.
Okay.
Those were not safe.
Ezra Bridger?
It's Ezra Wren.
But sitting in front of your computer inside your home,
Made this
Oh
group.
my god, they're
that is very safe. Unless, of course, you got swatted.
That goes by Ezra Wren on Twitter, but the problem is I can't really find which one it is because lots of people have that name. But yeah, so this is all like circling back. You just
Well-
see where I'm going with this, like this is the mindset of these people. So
Of course. And speaking of Ezra Wren, this over here says, please remember that using laugh reactions on poster comments that are not intended to be funny will lead to removal from this group. As we aim...
They are now even policing
What's the two words?
your feelings. Sure, the post may not be funny to you, but what if the post or the content is funny to someone else? You cannot police someone's feelings.
it's like pep.
That's why this is insane.
Oh,
That's
my
it.
God.
I got
That's a
even
weapon.
better. I got one up. I found this person's real Facebook profile, and I'm not gonna put it up, obviously. Their description: non-binary, they, them.
There you go, non-binary. Well, when it comes to avowed, my gender is non-binary.
Wow. Well, wouldn't you know it? Well, we cannot guarantee that you'll be allowed to stay. Feel free to laugh or react. This too. So we can weed some of you out now. There we go. You can see people laughing down below. They're just laughing. Oh my God. These people, man. These freaking, they're all broken. And it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing to see how broken these people are. I was talking to, Thanksgiving, you get your family around. I was talking to my nieces, and my niece, who was in high school, she said 1 out of 7 people in their high school is has some sort of ailment, some sort of issue. They think they're a boy when they're a girl, or a girl when they're a boy. They dress like a furry. They dress, they do something that is not would be considered, I don't know, quote unquote normal, right? That would be a normal part of society. And I was like, 1 out of 7, like
Yeah.
1 out of 7. Holy shit, that is crazy.
That's insane.
But the fact that emojis are the weapon now.
Yeah.
I just say what like a huge change it is, right? So I graduated high school in 2014. So I'm one of the youngsters. And like in a span of 10 years, this drastic change. It's like, man,
That is why they're trying to spread the ideology.
lesbian
They're trying to make it the new normal.
after high school. And this
Can you really stomach the new normal where adult
thing,
can have sex with children?
point out that this person was very, very
It is super disgusting.
in your face or anything.
There is no universe.
Like,
If there are
be left alone.
Yeah.
So
unlimited number of universe, I'm pretty sure there is no universe in those unlimited number of universes that will find
Nah.
having sex, adults having sex with children,
Howard, young
acceptable.
individuals. So if you of course have 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds who want to rebel, right? They finally are finding their freedom.
That is why we call it child abuse, because a child has no power.
Themselves, but people on
A child has no power to defend themselves.
urging them to go. You
That's why children are protected. Children and women are protected.
life, and it makes them like question everything.
But
It's
there are assholes out there
illness.
that are trying to push and trying to add pedophilia into the pride,
there was like one
movement.
that was like
That's why when I say if you are woke, you are in support of
so that was
pedophilia.
Hey, we found it. We found them. The modern audience. We found them. There they are.
there's 9 of them or whatever.
We got them. We found them all. That's great.
And there is nothing you can say that can convince me otherwise. Nothing. Okay, this is not okay. Co-founder of Obsidian calls for accountability. I think it's about the lawsuit or about those who got discriminated. It's a call for those who got discriminated to file lawsuits against Obsidian because an asshole in Obsidian run their mouth online. Okay, look at that. See? The new front page has 3 videos in a row. And as always, I'm sorry about that. YouTube is trying to trick me. They're trying to trick me. They're trying to trick you. They want you to think that they are pushing your content and sharing it to everyone when nope, they're only showing it to you. It's not even gaslighting anymore. It's just an obvious lie. Okay, Ubisoft actually cooked. Why? It's a good. And David Jaff, who the hell is that? Melts down. Okay, I'm going to check this out.
David Jaffe is salty that average people can
Oh,
behave so
I was wrong. It's not David Jaff.
getting angry.
It's David Jaffe.
Start actually listening to gamers after the multiple failures they've had over the years, and now, of course, he is blaming YouTube grifters.
I'm saying it again. Game developers can make any games they want.
Show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the
There's nothing wrong with them making any games they want.
and consider supporting through Patreon.
And there's also nothing wrong with gamers not buying anything they make.
Past few years to voice how unhappy he is with the fact that gamers' voices matter. And now that, of course, we've seen failure after failure like Concord, Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, Dustborn, The Veilguard,
The good news for gamers is that
to an unbelievable
even though the West game developers are killing themselves,
for killing this
they're committing
video up
seppuku.
on his YouTube channel, which he
The good news is
have clipped from a
game developers in the East are still making games that
ruining
the general gaming audience
I do think it's
want and likes to
He
play.
made a video about me in the past, which I couldn't help but laugh at because of how ridiculous he sounded. He made this video because I said Alyssa Mercante making jokes about the Trump attempted assassination wasn't funny, and how David here said that he thought it was kind of suspicious and it might have been staged, and that wasn't cool. But he whipped out a book about the WWE and Vince McMahon and said, oh, there's a lot of information about Trump in here and how he's good at understanding an audience and entertaining a crowd. But that's literally anyone in life, let's be honest. When you go to a job interview, you're trying to convince someone to hire you. When you go to try to get a loan, or you're in the real world debating someone,
Imagine getting yourself shot.
or quality
Again, the bullet
every single
was just,
candidate is just trying.
you can say, millimeters
Trump is just
from his head.
good at it. But at the end of the day, every single politician is like this, but instead he decides.
No one in their right mind will do something like that.
But he also said, oh, he's
When just one mistake
politics than I do.
could mean your actual death.
Fuck myself.
That's why these people are insane. And if they are game developers, remember, they hate you. They hate Christianity. The wokes hate Christianity. And if they are Christian and woke, they hate themselves, which is, I guess, the lowest form of hate.
Doing doing the same exact thing now.
or maybe one of the lowest forms of hate.
I did a full playthrough of Veilguard. I streamed.
Why would you hate yourself?
Streamed Concord when it was up.
My goodness.
I'm giving these games a chance.
Are you such a terrible human being that you even hate yourself?
Really, at this point, all that the gaming community that you're talking about has done is that they've made it up. So they've actually made games worse, which is what they say they're trying to not do. Okay, the problem with the mainstream industry is that it is filled with only one type of person, and that is an individual who I would consider a radical leftist. There are very few level-headed people who are actually at these companies from what we have observed, right? Because at every single company in the world, there are always going to be good people and bad people, good apples in every bunch, bad apples in every bunch. But the people that we are paying attention to at these
By the way, this thing, the woke thing, it's not just in the West.
vocal as in
I was looking at
customers or
some of the materials that
they're just being pieces.
the
They're
local schools are teaching,
racism and sexism and
and they are preaching inclusivity as well,
look at Matt Hansen,
which is
the art director.
so insane.
He said he wants crusty white dudes removed from the industry. Do you really think that that is like an acceptable?
Fortunately, I hope that none of my kids are buying this crap.
You're calling out, and because
It should be called out because, again,
there's
the idea of inclusivity is exclusion.
and then we get the same types of games over and over. So circling back to, they've actually made games worse. We do not affect the content that is in the game. All we are doing is calling.
That's why
we do not like
the West, especially the US,
critics.
it should correct itself because other countries are following suit.
They are getting a product and they are judging it. I do not see you sitting in a video calling out
What happens in the US
saying that they're trash because
affects
affecting the way that movies,
other countries,
video games are being made. No, we're not technically
especially their allies.
giving our opinion. Now, if a company listens to us, that would be great, because without us swiping our credit cards, you would not have a job. But he's saying that, oh my God, we're making games worse. We're technically not. Games are already bad. And they're
How are gamers making games worse? Gamers are not the one making the games.
the ones
That is so absurd.
are still getting made, and they're going to be made for years. He explained because they have the charismatic grifters that make the videos for whatever reason people respond to. People who haven't played this game will
The reason why people are responding to it is because the gamers, the people can see the bullshit.
sitting here talking,
Because they're not even hiding the bullshit anymore.
and then you can decide if it's
Just take a look at the avowed
I will absolutely
creative director or something. I have no idea what the position, but that guy was in a position in the company and he was like
my playthrough and you decided this is not a good game.
telling everyone that
It's providing people
it's a game not for
average gamer doesn't
you and I.
to sit and skim through social media feeds for hours upon hours upon hours. And that's why I make videos, so that I can help give people information so they can make an informed purchase, or maybe they do not purchase it. But instead of trying to view it from our standpoint, oh no, we're just grifters to him, we're just terrible people to him, which is ridiculous. He also addressed the major backlash to the game pushing transgender ideology. He said they straight up ask you if you want transgender game options 1 hour and you select yes or no. So to all the people bitching, invite it into their game. And he also talks about how
So if they are injecting
trans characters
woke ideologies,
is not very true.
which is basically the woke religion,
Oh my gosh.
why are they not injecting Christian ideologies as well?
Choosing a transgender identity for your character, you do that.
Why is there only one religion that is acceptable?
The problem is that characters like Tosh do still exist, and eventually you will have to deal with her bullshit. It's not like you can just leave her at her base and, not use her as a companion. You basically have to level each companion up and you have to go through their stories. But even if you don't,
There should be a way to, there should be options.
way,
But then again, the best way, the best option is to just not buy
only
the game or buy
I think it's
any of these games that are filled with woke bullshit.
transgender or non-binary terms within your fantasy game. I don't like the modern terminology. It just takes me out of the experience. That's my opinion though. Maybe you like it. That's okay. You're allowed to. But I'm still allowed to criticize it at the end of the day. So he sounds insane. Let's be honest.
Again, it goes both ways. They can do whatever they want. There's nothing wrong with that. And we can choose not to buy the whatever they are
that I
putting out.
that other
If they're putting out crap,
but it just
we don't have to buy crap.
massive hypocrite. Maybe you do not
We get crap
because you agree with them because they're the
almost every day. Every time we go to the toilet, we don't need to add more crap.
you could buy 20 copies and donate.
That is more than enough crap in our lives.
And not like the game. That's the beautiful thing about people having different opinions and having a platform to be able to voice those opinions on. So he sounds insane, and he's blaming the YouTube grifters for killing Dragon Age the Veilguard when, at the end of the day, it was just a very bad game. It was not the experience that Dragon Age fans really wanted, and because we criticized it, it didn't get sales.
It's also good that these game developers are exposing themselves because that way gamers can check whether or check what games they are working on and avoid it.
Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it.
So that was a video from Vara the Dark. I don't understand why it's Vara the Dark when she's not dark at all. There's nothing about her that is dark. She's like a bright light in the sky. And I'm not talking about her skin color, because her skin color is light beige. Whoa, lawsuits. Okay, this is the same as the the same topic as the previous video that I've seen. But this one is from Endymion.
Hey everybody, it's Endymion, and the sludge keeps coming out like crazy from the industry, and here I am in my hazmat suit having to sift through the garbage so we can understand what exactly is going on these days. So that whole Avowed thing happened, and I talked about it in my previous video, and it has now kind of gotten worse, and has opened up yet another discussion. As the art director at Obsidian goes completely off mask saying,
It's art director. I think I mentioned creative director. I don't think that is the same.
gamer gates that are tied into Avowed.
So the art director is not a good person
some trouble with devs attacking players too.
because he is bigoted.
Quickly catch you up to speed, Avowed has pretty much gotten itself into hot water because its art director, whose name is Matt Hansen, has decided to make it his priority to attack conservatives and especially Elon Musk recently, claiming that Matt Hansen intentionally injected wokeness into Avowed because he wanted people to
How crazy is that? That is insane.
AI and ESG no matter what they
He
do.
deliberately, according to him, he deliberately added wokeness.
Happened and stuff
He made the game ultra woke just to spite
Avowed
Elon Musk.
Hansen wants to remove
That is not an action done by a mentally stable person. That is an action by an insane person. It's just too bad because
you get called all sorts of
he works as an art director, which means he is a very creative person, and
typically left-leaning
I would assume he's also an intelligent person, but I guess he's not that smart.
on the world while everyone else is.
Remember, guys,
I can't imagine
intelligence, being intelligent,
where I'm from.
doesn't mean you're smart.
Pride to be found, no matter which corner of this god-forsaken world you come from. And I think pushing white people down specifically and trying to normalize that we need to hate ourselves is ridiculous. You're never going to make
There's a lot of intelligent people in history
I love
that did
and I'm
stupid
also
things.
happy that I'm a guy too. Nothing you say or do is going to make me hate myself so that you feel better. I don't care who
And in fact,
you are. This sort of punch
that is still happening to this day.
plenty of these white progressives that are morons that would unironically get stabbed in the street and refuse to give descriptions on who did it to them because they don't want to push some kind of stereotype. I mean, sure, I got stabbed and had my wallet stolen, but at least I'm not a bigot. Very cool. Well, this Matt Hansen guy, who kind of looks like if Kratos was evolving backwards, has decided to double and even triple down in his woke crusade. Firstly, a tweet of his was unearthed because
This is a good thing, by the way.
stupid stuff.
He basically just exposed himself.
You've been stupid before. And yeah,
Maybe I need to make a list of
this on Twitter. Reminder to black artists out
of people who
reviews or job advice might
worked on the gaming industry that exposed themselves as
crusty white dude.
insufferable
If
assholes.
you replace me one day, I want to go back to living in the woods. Well, good news for you, Matt. You don't need to do much to go
And I can say with
leave your position.
I guess
Actually doesn't hate the
with
fill your seat. in-
confidence that
It's very stupid.
this guy also support
them actually
pedophilia.
lose their power.
Again, if you're woke,
if you're so
if you're woke, then you automatically supports pedophilia or pedophilia.
life through the trenches of game
There's
development to eventually
no going about it.
director of a major game at $1 billion company. And your brain that has been rotted by the mind virus then tells you that it's morally justified to give up your position that you work so hard for because your skin is white. As if the person being in your position having a different color of skin means anything to their talent at all. Honestly, at this point, I'm halfway angry and annoyed by this Matt Hansen guy. You can't seriously be thinking this way, dude. It's pathetic to see. Where is your pride for your work? All the time you spent to get to where you are, all the thankless actions you probably did when you weren't at the top. And now because some gender studies HR person in an H&M blouse is telling you that you're racist and need to leave, you're going to
I was very surprised that Dark Sky
of a different skin color.
is allowing,
Most of these people that you virtue signal to, they won't even remember
they're allowing
you were to die this
pedophilia
They will pave over your grave with
in their platform.
club one day because you deemed yourself by your own volition to be
I have seen a few accounts that are openly
inflicted guilt like this. Honestly, Matt Hansen,
exposing themselves
hours you were clearly unfit,
as child predators.
self-deprecating on
It is insane.
Hiring people based on skin color or gender does nothing. It means nothing. This actually ties into this other article here from Northeastern Global News titled, "The games industry is in the middle of Gamergate 2.0. Experts explain why harassment and vitriol hurt everyone who loves games." This article here perfectly conveys why people like the Avowed art director is acting how he is. This is all designed to make people hate themselves and relinquish their power and assets through peer pressure.
What I think gamers can do is,
These idiots are scared.
because here's the thing, they like to weaponize it.
Studio Bio
You know, these woke people, they like to weaponize our complaint.
Well, I wouldn't.
Okay, they like to call our complaint as harassment.
After several unsuccessful
Maybe the best thing we can do is just not say anything and stop buying their things.
role-playing games, the critical response was largely positive.
Let's go back to being, maybe going back to being the silent majority
However, even
is a will have a better effect.
for a very
I'm just saying, I don't know if it will,
target games, they
but the problem is
the anti-woke,
they would do something stupid. They would
anyone who has
they would sell us
in the last few years.
they would sell us a game no one cares about or no one wants, and then if
Gamergate was
we complain,
feminism
they cry they cry
specific
and they cry harassment basically.
identity. Oh my god, Gamergate was not about rejecting feminism, diversity, or progressive values. See what I mean? They're already lying. Gamergate started
So what can we do?
games journalism.
I guess
Know that
if this trend continues and they just keep
worked in the games industry, pretty much was accused of sleeping with
weaponizing it against
game and give it better
those who are complaining about
pretty much. Yes, it's
giving us bad games,
scores for her game. And instead of just making a
the solution that I see is just
here we are now. It's about ethics, you moron.
not saying anything and also not buying their games.
Positions refuse to do the
Because again, the best thing or the best way of
progressiveness or rape. Plenty of diversity in games prior to
what do you call this?
happening. The only difference was back
The best way of sending a message to these
for checking boxes.
gaming companies, corporations, and developers
These people, these journalists,
is
art directors, none of them understand,
through our wallets or through your wallets.
but they always miss the point. We are sick of you talking down to us, telling us to shut up and sit down and to accept
If all gamers,
opinion. If we don't eat your garbage,
if we all banded together and just stop giving them money,
war was saved by Asian devs. Every major
that is a very, very loud message.
survived just fine without an objectively healthy Western game industry this entire year and then some. We don't need your games or your politics because there are plenty of experiences that don't adhere to your crap already that are much better.
There are literally thousands of other games out there.
Is them telling us that we need to support them or else. Or else what exactly? We won't get more slop in
It's best to give your money to an indie game developer that respects you
all your talking points in
and appreciates you
the director has saying we gotta remove
than giving it to a AAA gaming studio that hates you
the game can be made
and tries to preach
that sort of stuff
their beliefs to you.
on this channel already. There's simply not enough of these people to cover the budgeting cost of these ballooning games price tags anyways. They don't show up, they just demand codes for free and then cry and piss themselves when their woke game fails. Why would I care if a bunch of soy-filled vegan babies are mad that their game failed? You didn't make it for me anyway, so what does it matter? Of course, that same article then says that hashtag isn't widely in use, but the behaviors and the conspiracy theory-like grift behind any of this has never really gone away and has evolved into the playbook for harassment online, cybermoms online, for far-right recruitment of disenfranchised men on the internet. It has evolved and persisted. Oh my god, so if you don't like pronouns in your game, you're now a Yahtzee. What an embarrassment these people are. And look, I hate Yahtzees. I can't even say their real name on YouTube because their name can age restrict nonsense. It's so stupid. By the way, in case you don't know, Yahtzee is internet slang for N-A-Z-I people. Look, those people wiped out large parts of my dad's side of the family in World War II, okay? I frankly find it insulting for these morons to be associating me with anything like that. All because I don't want to play your pronoun games or live in your fake realities.
It's the same thing with the word bigot. They throw it around like
I've also pushed back against this, like
it's
dark or savvy for a few examples.
what do you call this?
Mac as well.
Like it's candy.
No, it's only men. Men are the worst.
When
Especially white men. Oh, they're so crusty.
when they're the ones who are actually bigoted
Since Matt Hansen, who looks
because
networks
they can't tolerate any beliefs and opinions and views that not their own.
pretty much in that one.
If you don't agree with them, you are excluded.
Everything is sexist.
Amazing.
Everything is racist. Everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
It's literally just that. Everything I like is great, and everything I don't like is made by bigoted racists. These people can't be serious, man. Well, they can be, but they still lost all composure. Oh my god, look at what just happened. Every day I sit here naked in my chair, double cheeked up, and now more has happened. So y'all remember Fallout New Vegas? Okay, well, Chris Avallone, who worked on that game and plenty of others, I mean, he's a legendary game designer, he caught wind of the whole avowed art director saying that he prioritizes black artists over white ones when he hires people at Obsidian. Here's what Avallone had to say about that via X. Based on recent news, if you were rejected from an art position at Obsidian in the past few years, call a lawyer. Discrimination in hiring, especially for a Microsoft studio, can ensure you don't need to apply for a job ever again. And it shouldn't cost you a cent to initiate legal action. The lawyers will know what the case is worth, and they'll do the heavy lifting. This has nothing to do with my personal politics, but I believe strongly that hiring discrimination for any reason isn't something the industry should tolerate. I hope you agree. Oh, dear viewer, now the sauce is...
That is insane. It's insane because if someone actually experienced discrimination, hiring discrimination in Obsidian,
Don't you love it when things finally come together like this? Oh,
they now have
but what Chris Avallone
evidence that
for a lot of reasons. Let me take you down.
they were passed on because of discrimination, and they could make a lot of money from it.
So Chris Avallone was accused of sexual assault and
Even if the case is settled out of court,
basically blacklisted him for it.
they'll still get money from Microsoft.
Chris Avallone would eventually have the case settled.
But if Obsidian has been doing it and a lot of people has experienced the same discrimination,
The
it could easily kill the studio.
Pharaohs would confirm that they lied via Avallone's own blog, where they said in a joint statement, Mr. Avallone never sexually abused either of us. We have no knowledge that he has ever sexually abused any women. We have no knowledge that Mr. Avallone has ever misused corporate funds. Anything we have previously said or written about Mr. Avallone to the contrary was not our intent. Oh, don't you love it when gold diggers get caught in the act? It's like sweet candy that hits your tongue. Oh, it tastes so good. But yeah, Avallone won. He got slandered, he took him to court, he cooked him up real good, and then he left a millionaire. So if anyone knows what it's like to get accused by Obsidian Entertainment woke weirdos, it's Avallone. And now that he's publicly stating that the avowed art director Matt Hansen here has publicly confirmed that he has willingly overlooked applicants unless they're black and has rejected white artists specifically, yeah, pretty much if you ever applied to work at Obsidian and are a white guy or woman even, I guess, and you got rejected,
And it's the internet.
y'all better
It's the internet. So if you posted, if you're somewhat
legal fund that he has set up to make
influential and you posted something stupid,
straight up discrimination
it stays in the internet forever.
on their skin color.
Too bad for him.
Especially has been doing this
But I don't think he's actually hiding it, because the same thing is still posted in his Dark Sky account.
Whoever was hiring you, go look up their LinkedIn or their Twitter, Blue Sky, whatever they got. And if you can find any evidence that the person who was interviewing you favors one color of people over another, booyakasha, you may just have found your ticket to becoming a millionaire, my friend. I hope that everyone that got rejected by Obsidian rallies and sues them into oblivion. I want Obsidian to pay the toll for being woke activists. And remember, they're owned by Microsoft now too, which means if those people got overlooked, Obsidian could in turn use their connection to Microsoft and say, well, Microsoft wanted us to not hire white people on purpose. And then if you get that on evidence, you just up those millions to maybe double-digit millions, my brothers and sisters. These are rookie numbers. You gotta bump them suckers up to get it. Seriously, this is the time, guys. If you've ever been discriminated against for being white, it is time to call the Reaper and tear this all down. Because people have been rejected for racism in the past, so it's time to use it against this one too. I mean, why not? Hell, if I could get millions for being rejected for being white, I would do
See,
that. Are you kidding
if you are an art director,
on the beach right now,
you have
while eating some sweet
some level of intelligence, but
these weirdos to court. Please do not let
even though the guy, I would assume, is intelligent, he's not very smart, because if he was smart, he wouldn't have said those things and posted them in the internet, which is available for everyone to see.
answer anyway. So Asmongold caught wind of this
He may be intelligent, but he's not smart.
Then, that part of Asmongold's video got picked up by Grums and Ian Miles Chong, which I probably said his name wrong, but anyway. Then, got retweeted by Elon Musk, who then tagged the CEO of Microsoft and said, hey, this is illegal to do, by the way. So now everybody and their grandmother basically saw this, and of course then Chris Avallone, who's sitting on his millions, saw it, and here we are. I mean, this isn't even the first time Elon retweeted something like this. Ashley St. Clair posted something of similar origin back on March 28th, 2024, and Elon would then say, it should not be acceptable for any company in the gaming industry to be racist and sexist against white guys. Of course, these morons will always scoff and laugh at this, saying, you can't tell us what to do, you're not our boss. Which, I mean, you're right, but the law sure can.
That's right. Cry.
And turns out Matt Hansen also replied to Elon Musk on March 29, 2024 to that very tweet I just showed you where he said, oh, Elon, you sweet summer child, this will only embolden me, you sad sack of S-H-I-T. We got
Sad sack of shit.
confirming
Why is saying shit bad?
and wants to only hire non-white devs. Oh, this is a Christmas miracle. It's the gift that keeps giving. Would be a shame if y'all screenshotted that tweet from this video and shared it on social media. Totally not suggesting it or anything, but oh, my hand slipped. Here's that same tweet again on screen. My bad. Please, don't share that because Matt Hansen won't like it if you do. Probably doesn't help Avowed's case that one of the higher-ups in Microsoft named Kelly Lombardi has also attacked white dudes earlier this year too, where she said, raise your hand if you're not a white man and you buy video games. No hate the white dudes, just another day in the gaming industry that minorities have to fight to prove they exist. No hate the white people, guys, except totally, we hate those people and we don't hire them. And we pretend they don't exist even though we are very visibly...
They hate themselves. I would assume these are all white people or white folks. They hate themselves.
Newer generations from joining video game development, but I disagree. I think as long as you're making authentically great games that don't push a narrative, you'll be just fine. There's plenty of great games that have come out this year that have done just that. The only people who would be against this sort of thing are the ones who were raised as activists first and developers second. At the end of this Gamergate article, a lady in charge of fostering new hires would then say this. Particularly, my female students and queer students are put off by this. It's a difficult place to exist in. And their imagination of themselves in this world, in this sphere, is limited if they are being pushed out at every point, Zaro says. If the problem persists that the industry and the culture are hostile, literally too hostile to endure, then we don't get the people telling the stories that are meant to tell. What do you mean, meant to tell exactly? And funny how she pairs that statement with explicitly female and queer students. Oh yeah, okay, we get it. You just want stories being told by people who pass your ideology litmus test. If a white guy wants to tell the story, you don't want that. But if it's a non-binary person, well, by all means, right? This is what I'm talking about. There's no one telling you that you can't join an industry if you don't want to. The only thing that should limit your ability to join any industry is your personal talent. If you're not good enough, you shouldn't be there. Full stop. I don't care what color or gender you are, it doesn't matter. These sorts of people with victim mindsets are plaguing everything. Adult pretenders that are being coddled by other emotionally stunted adults in positions of power, creating studios that are more nurseries for victim-blaming activists than places where real games get made. And like I said, these people keep showing that they have that victim mindset from that Park Place. CD Projekt Red's senior experienced designer seems to mock fans over Witcher 4 DEI concerns. So IGN stated that Witcher 4 is in full production, then a user would say, I'm not excited over it and the Witcher series is one of my favorite game series. CD Projekt Red is too deep into DEI ESG BS. Then a CDPR dev named Max Ossipovsky, damn, did I say that right? Ossipovsky, anyway, would reply with a laughing and clown emoji. Then the
Just call him asshole. If you just called him asshole, it would have been much easier to say asshole.
Telling a woman to shut up and calling her a clown? The CDPR dev would then say immediate allegations along with misinterpreting, just wow. Another user would then reply, I mean, they aren't allegations at this point, and behavior like this post only proves we are correct from your perspective and the company's. You should have just stayed quiet. CDPR's dev would then say, "I'm sorry, I'm not going to engage in this conversation further. No matter what I say, it will be misinterpreted to prove whatever point you'd like to prove." Assuming that everyone should immediately know one's gender on the web and make an attack based on that is simply wrong. Like, I just want to say to this Max Ospavotsky, however you say his name of CDPR, it was better that you just said nothing. We know that DEI is all over CDPR. Just go look at their website. Actions speak louder, of course, so hopefully, whenever Witcher 4 gets revealed, they show us stuff to prove.
Come on, guys. Just don't.
Honestly,
Please.
to be wrong.
I don't understand I don't understand people sometimes.
Witcher 4, and it confirms all.
They're already screwing you and they are already showing you their cards. Why even bother?
I hope it's great, but we'll see. I'll reserve judgment for now, but it
Anyway, guys, that's it for the hour. Yeah, I heard the sound. And thank you for watching. Please consider following the channel, like the video, and share it to everyone you know. If you're watching on YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel in YouTube, and as well in Twitch. Follow the channel in Twitch. But I would really appreciate it if you can, what do you call this? If you can join or follow the channel in Rumble, because that is where Rumble is my primary platform. That is where I'm primarily streaming. I'm only using multi-streaming. I'm using Restream to stream to YouTube and Twitch. And I'm also having problems connecting to Kick. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So guys, again, thank you for watching. And remember, guys, you don't have to buy the games. If you know the game developers, the gaming studio hates you. They call you all kinds of and all kinds of isms. You don't have to give them your money. There is an independent game developer out there who is making an awesome game, and he could probably use that money to finish the game that he's working on, rather than giving your money to AAA game studios that are no longer hiding their hatred of you. The more you give them money, the more emboldened they get. In their mind, I guess they see it like, look at this. Look at all these simps. We insult them. We call them names. We literally said we hate them, but they're still giving us their money. And if that is the case, then, well, you'll be complaining till the end of time, and nothing will change because you're giving them your money. Anyway, guys, bye-bye for now.